All right, so welcome back to my adventures in Raid Shadow Legends. And let me tell you what, we got a cool event going on here, the Revenant Summon Pool event, where we have a chance to obtain Losan, who is an amazing legendary defense champion, but we have better chances of obtaining some cool legendaries, including, but not limited to, Gaiath, the Truth Shield, and her shield looks freaking amazing. You guys know I love the shields in this game, but we have 94% chance of obtaining some amazing epics, including Felicia, I believe it is. She looks awesome. She is an epic attack. So really cool opportunities here. We're going to go for it. We're going to use up all of our prism shards here. I believe that's what they're called, aren't they called? Yeah, prism crystals, I should say, not prism shards, but prism crystals here, and try it today. We'll see what happens. But also, if you want a guarantee to obtain some amazing epic support champions as a new user or you create a new account, you can get Teodor and goooooo today for free by following that link in the description below. They are absolutely amazing in battle, and you'll get a bunch of free starter resources as well, so check it out. But yeah, before we get into this, let's find out why Losan is so good as a legendary defense. So he has a Trophic Axe level 1, attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Now this debuff cannot be resisted if the target has attacked this champion before this turn. So that is actually really beneficial there. Now, we also have Spirit Calculus, says the HP levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. The turn meter levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest turn meter. That's pretty wild. Now, the HP levels of all enemies will be brought down to the level of the enemy with the lowest HP. The turn meter levels of all enemies will be brought down to the level of the enemy with the lowest turn meter, then places a taunt buff on this champion for 2 turns. That is really powerful, and you're going to want to up his defense even more, of course, since you're going to be taunting the enemy, trying to draw aggro. But that right there is really good. You know, that's an extremely unique ability for sure. Now, we also have Finality Disc, attacks one enemy. That's kind of a bummer that we're seeing that trend here where he only attacks one enemy on all of his attack type abilities, but we'll work with it. Let's see what it says. So before attacking, transfers all debuffs from this champion to the target and heals this champion by 10% of their max HP. Heals an additional 10% of their max HP for each debuff transfer. Now, we'll always use this skill instead of the default skill when counter attacking. But you know what's really noteworthy about Losan is he's going to be great for faction wars, and that's proven right here with the Knights Revenant Unity. So one faction ally will give you this before attacking. Also removes all buffs from the target enemy. This effect cannot be resisted if the target has attacked this champion before the turn. Now, if you have 2 faction allies, will attack all remaining enemies with less than 30% HP. This attack will ignore 100% of each target's defense and cannot be critical. Now, 3 faction allies gives this bonus here. This skill deals 100% more damage to the enemies who have attacked this champion before this turn. So this would be, you know, this champion right here is going to be amazing for those faction wars, 100%. But what about Ascension level 3? Let's talk about it. So once you get there, you get the representation. It says every time this champion loses 25% HP or more from a single hit, places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. Hell yes. And there's also additional bonuses here under Knights Revenant Unity, once again proving that you're going to want to have Knights Revenant all around Losan when you head into faction wars for sure. Of course you have to, but that's huge for faction wars. Now, Aura says increases ally defense in all battles by 25%, increases ally res in all battles by 60, only applies to Knights Revenant though. So once again, that huge benefit, he has these bonuses when it comes to those faction wars. So this character you definitely want to get for those faction wars. But let's go ahead and try to summon him. Let's see if we get lucky here. We have a couple chances here, but I imagine we're going to get some cool epics out of this no matter what. There's some newcomers in here that I do not have in my arsenal of champions, so let's go for it. Let's see what we can do here. Wait a second. What in the world? We already got a legendary support. I was not expecting that right out of the gates. Hell yes. That is what I am talking about. So we got Ankora here. Holy crap. I was not expecting that at all. Let's see her reviews first and foremost. Hell yes, we just rolled a really damn good legendary support champion. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get into her skills. Necro Bolt attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random ally skill by 2 turns. Now, if Wight King Narcissus is on the same team, and hopefully I pronounced that right, and has any active skills on cooldown, decreases the cooldown of one of their skills by 2 turns. But also, if he's on the team and has no active skills on cooldown, decreases the cooldown of a random ally skill by 2 turns. So this is like really useful for tag teaming with Wight King Narcissus. That is actually legit cool. Now, if the cooldown is on his skill by fully reset, also heals the ally by 10% of the champion's max HP. Sweet. And she is a support champion, which you guys know I absolutely love support champions, epic or legendary. Now, Shield of Amira says removes all debuffs from all allies and places a shield buff on them equal to 25% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. So you're going to want to have a lot of HP, of course. Now, if Wight King Narcissus is on the same team, also places a 25% strength buff on all allies for 2 turns, then fills the turn meters of all allies by 10%. That is one hell of a bonus. So you're going to want to have that the king dude on your team no matter what. Now, Rise, my love. It says revives a dead ally with 50% HP and 75% turn meter. Resets the cooldowns of the revived ally's skills. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. If the target is Wight King Narcissus, revives them with 75% HP and 100% turn meter instead. So she's really like a support to him specifically. After the revival, decrease the turn meters of all enemies by 10%. And if Narcissus is revived, decrease the turn meters of all enemies by 20% instead. This effect, by the way, cannot be resisted, which is huge. That is freaking awesome. Now, we also have some passives. Let's talk about it. Whenever an enemy tries to place a fear, true fear, etc., debuff on the ally with the highest crit damage, transfer those debuffs to this champion instead. Okay. Fills the turn meter of this champion by 50% if this champion misses their turn due to one of these debuffs. Now, at the start of this champion's turns, removes any of those debuffs from this champion if Wight King Narcissus is on the same team. If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will activate. Absolutely huge. So she is damn powerful. But let's talk about Ascension level 3. So once we get there, we get the Aura ability. And if we slot her in as the team leader, all ally speed in all battles is increased by 19%. I wish it was like the 25% or something like that, but hey, we'll take it. That's actually pretty legit right there. But her reviews, again, are absolutely crazy. She's great for arena defense and offense, apparently. Hydra, Faction Wars, again, is where she's really going to stand out. You could definitely tell just by her abilities that she's all about the Faction War for sure. But overall, my God, I don't see any rating under 4. At all. Barely under 4.5 as well. But yeah, Fire Knight's Castle is, I guess, her weakest. If that, but still pretty OP there. But yeah, awesome that we actually got a legendary support from this. Was not expecting that whatsoever. Let's keep going and see if we can get lucky yet again. Begin the summoning ritual. Let's see. All right, so we got an epic. Dude, okay. All right, she looks badass. Doom Priest. Let's take a look here. So, Fate Weave, level 1, attacks one enemy. If the hit is critical, places a 15% increased crit rate buff on random ally for 2 turns. Also, we have Mass Possession, places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's pretty damn good right there. Now, Bolster says heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP and removes 1 random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. That's pretty good. But we have no ability in here, which is kind of a bummer again, where it says she attacks absolutely everyone, so that's kind of a bummer. But we also have Aura increases force ally speed in all battles by 15%. I do want to take a look at her review. She's actually highly rated, but I knew that there would be some ratings in her that would be lower, simply because she doesn't have that attack all or something like that. But overall, pretty damn good ratings here. Kind of curious to see how she does in... Where is Faction Wars? Did I skip over that? Faction Wars, she's pretty damn good with Faction Wars, apparently. So, yeah, pretty damn cool. I'd love to get her on a Faction Wars team here, but we're going to get some Knights Revenant as we keep going here. So I think we might actually build a legit Faction Wars team from just the pool of heroes or champions that we're getting here. All right, so who do we got next? An epic support. We got Pesas here. Let's take a look. I love the artwork, though. Damn. Okay, so epic support. 26 reviews. Not many reviews at all, so kind of underutilized. And very, like, average rating here overall. Everything's pretty much under a 4. So it seems like nothing too exciting going on here. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But we have Blood Call, attacks 2 enemies at random. Has a 30% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. We have Flames Within, attacks 1 enemy, has a 50% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns as well. And then heals all allies by 15% of their max HP if the HP burn debuff is placed. Now, fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% if the HP burn debuff is not placed. A lot of ifs in this one for sure. So that's kind of the bummer. Yeah, with that one, definitely. Also, unlocks Ascension level 3. Let's take a look. Battle Weirding. Places a 50% increased accuracy buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. This one's actually pretty legit, I gotta say, but you gotta get the 3 Ascension, though, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So just to get this, you have to do some work. Then we have Aura, increases ally accuracy in Doom Tower battles by 50, but it's, you know, it's Doom Tower, so it's kind of limiting. It's not all battles, but hey, pretty cool stuff there, but not anything that's going to make you be like, oh my god, that's absolutely amazing. Now, I did want to mention, if you are new to Raid Shadow Legends, or if you want to create a new free-to-play account, you can get Teodor and goooooo today for absolutely free as a new user, or you create those new accounts. And they are absolutely amazing, epic support champions. And yes, you'll get a ton of starter resources as well to give you the best head start in Raid. So be sure to check that out for sure. But let's go back to the summon pool here and let's do the final pool here. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Can we get another legendary? Hell yes, we can. No freaking way. Holy crap. So we got Teodor here. Oh, wow. I was not expecting that at all. Let's take a look at the reviews. Ooh, arena offense. Horrible ratings for arena defense. And then Sand Devil's Necropolis. Wow, I haven't seen such low ratings for a legendary, but on the good side of things, he's excellent at Faction Wars, Spider Den. Dude, I cannot believe I pulled another legendary. Hell yes, and a legendary support. I'm looking for champions that are good at Faction Wars. That's what I'm specifically looking at. And I'm trying to push some Spider Den stuff as well, because I've noticed that there's a lot of like events around Spider Den at times. So yeah, that's super important. But hell yes. This is what I'm talking about. But let's take a look at what he is good at. Dude, okay, so we got Vile Physic. Says attack all enemies. Has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff 2 turns, keeping the enemy at bay. Love that it's also attack all enemies. And we've got Savant Savvy. Has a 75% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs and a 25% poison sensitivity debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also places a 30% increased speed buff on all enemies for 2 turns as well. That's actually legit right there. Love the debuff stuff going on here. Then Chemistry says increases the duration of all poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs on all enemies for 1 turn. Then instantly activates any poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs on each enemy. Okay. Places a 25% weakened debuff on top of all this for 2 turns on enemies not under poison debuffs or HP burn debuffs. So if you have anyone that is resisting, I guess, they're still going to get hurt in some way, shape, or form. But it looks like it might be cool to use him in tandem with other poison-based champions because of this one ability. And even like HP burn champions. So if you team him up with HP burn and another poison, I'm kind of curious to see what you can actually pull off as like some sort of synergy within a team. Yeah, so some cool potential team building stuff there. Now unlocks at Ascension level 3. Now it says Fumigator. This champion res is increased by 5 for each poison debuff on the enemy team, which is really, really good. But if we spot him in as the leader, it says increases all ally accuracy in all battles by 50. Hell yes. So yeah, he is legit. Dude, I was not expecting to get 2 legendaries today. I mean, we didn't pull, of course, the headline champion, which is Losan here. It would have been cool to get a legendary defense, but I am happy with what we got. We got some really powerful legendaries for sure. Teodor and our queen here. She almost looks like she would fit in with the undead faction as well. I thought for sure she was undead for a second. I thought there was like a mistake, but she is a Knight's Revenant. But yeah, remember, if you are new to Raid Shadow Legends, welcome aboard. You can grab Teodor and goooooo, 2 of the best epic support champions in the game by far for absolutely free. Follow that link in the description below or scan that QR code on the screen and you will obtain them for free, as well as a bunch of starter resources to give you the absolute best start in Raid Shadow Legends. So check that out. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We just got some crazy good legendaries. Look at that. Our arsenal of champions is getting more and more powerful as we go. Hell yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I hope to actually make some cool videos in the future. Let me see something. I'm kind of curious. Is the faction wars for, when does that open for the Revenant? Knight's Revenant Crypt opens in 1 week, 3 days. Damn. Oh well. Yeah, you know, it gives us time to actually level them up. We're going to do that. I'm going to do that pretty much immediately. Get them leveled up here very soon. Mentioning that, if you guys didn't notice. Yeah, hell yes. We have 3 level 60, potentially level 60 champions. We're getting her up to level 60 here very soon. But even like Kel is on his way to level 60. And I've also ascended him to 6 stars as well. I'm working on Alice the Wonder. I really want to get her up to 6 stars. And then of course everyone in, you know, that is level 6 needs to be up to 6 stars. That is a requirement, but I'm going to push for it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned here for more Raid Shadow Legends. Cannot wait to check out these 2 legendaries. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time. Take care.